guys, welcome back to Wrestle Realm. My name's Ryan Milky and this is my Raw After Mania review. So, first of all, I want to start off by saying WrestleMania 41 was underwhelming. It wasn't everything that it was promising to be. It was just, I don't know, the build didn't seem right for it. Maybe it was because of the hype and the absolute just heights that we got to with WrestleMania 40 main event with Cody finishing the story. I just don't know. I feel like the best match of the night, or the two nights, was probably the main event of night one with the triple threat with CM Punk, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and of course Paul Heyman. And then the best match on night two, I'm going to put my neck out there and say it was Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I feel like that was the best wrestling match on the show. But yeah, anyway, that's WrestleMania. We're going into Raw. My reason for mentioning what I just mentioned is because what we got tonight on Raw was exactly what we needed. It was a brand new start to a season. There was returns, there was debuts, there was title changes, there was heel turns. It was insane for a Raw After Mania, and that's usually what we grew to expect. Last couple ones have been a little bit meh, but this one really delivered. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to break it down a little segment by segment. We'll be here for about 10 to 15 minutes, I hope. And then we're going to get out of here. And we're going to be back next week we're going to be here back at the end of the week for SmackDown for the review on that one. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first opening segment of Raw was John Cena. John Cena came out to the ring and explained to everybody his side of the story. But before we get into John Cena conversation, I want to give a massive shout out to the Kraken. The Kraken on YouTube was in the Netflix opening intro thing. He was yeeting along, doing his reaction. So definitely go check out the Kraken over on YouTube. He does watch-alongs. He does all sorts of wrestling content. He's a great guy, and he's also part of the Media Moguls, which is a group that I'm part of. So you never know, you might see my face on Netflix one day. First thing that happened was John Cena. John Cena came out, basically berated all the fans as always. He was having a go at people in the front row, telling them that you shouldn't speak to me like that. Would you speak to your girlfriend like that? Great heel work from John Cena. It's something that we've always wanted to see in his long, illustrious career. He was always the shining babyface of the company, and he got to that 16 world title, didn't he? And then he went away, and he went to Hollywood, and we grew to miss John Cena. I know I did personally. I was a massive John Cena fan. One of the key points that John Cena came out and said was 36 dates was what he announced at the beginning of the year, and then I think he counted us down to maybe 27 left for John Cena. He says that he doesn't have to wrestle 27 times, he just needs to turn up and speak to us in the middle of the ring and give us some wambo bambo bullshit about his last time as the real world champion. He said, I'm going to take this belt home with me at the end of those dates. This is the same belt that Roman held for 1,000 days. This is the same belt that Bruno Sammartino held. This is the same belt that Randy Orton held. This is the same belt that so many amazing wrestlers over the years have held. And he stood there in the middle of the ring and he said, take it in. Everybody get your phones out of your pockets in the arena now. Take this in, because this is the last time. He's playing this last time thing off, remember? This is the last time that you're going to be able to get a photograph with me and this championship, because I'm going to force WWE to make a new belt. He understands that there's still going to be a SmackDown, there's still going to be a Raw even after he's left, but it's not going to be the same, because the title that holds all the prestige and all of that history is going home with him. And then out of nowhere, we see a character creep up from behind John Cena, and it's the one and it's the only. I think we've seen this match, 30 times now? So I don't know what they're going to do this time when the roles are reversed with a heel and a babyface. But it was Randy Orton. Randy Orton turned up behind him. John Cena turned around and Randy Orton delivered an RKO to a disheveled John Cena, who said shit as he hit the RKO, and he left him laying. Randy Orton then let his eyes gaze onto that title. He picked it up and he laid it on John Cena's stomach on the middle of the ring. It was a great moment. A little bit overshadowed by the spoilers that came out. I know my good friend and brother of the Horseman, Poppin in the Show Me State, he sent me some images that he found during WrestleMania weekend, and it seemed to show John Cena with the title against Randy Orton in St. Louis, Missouri next month. Well, those spoiler images ended up being true. So it looks like that's the next feud for John Cena. I don't expect John Cena to lose this title straight away, which is okay, I just also don't expect John Cena to leave the WWE with that belt. Although I'm not 100% certain on that, because WWE could go down that avenue of creating new title belts. I'm not sure. Okay, guys, so next up on the Raw card tonight is Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan having their rematch with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, who won the Tag Team Championships on WrestleMania. Returning Becky Lynch, who took the place of Bayley. Bayley was attacked backstage, and we don't know who it was by. After tonight's Raw episode and the commotion that happens with Becky in this match, we can pretty much guarantee we know who it was that attacked Bayley, and it's probably going to be Becky. So Becky Lynch returned, as I said, at WrestleMania. She teamed up with Lyra Valkyria, and she ended up winning with Lyra the Women's Tag Team Championships from Liv and Raquel, which was a shock, because I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch in the sense of she's like Charlotte Flair. She can come back from a retirement or an injury and be thrown straight into the main event scene. I don't enjoy that, because you've got people like Lyra, you've got girls like that, you know, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark were having a go the other day because they just don't get given the opportunities. Well, they don't get given the opportunities because people like Becky Lynch seem to just come back from injury and get thrust straight into the main event. I know it's Becky Lynch, I know she's the man, I know that everybody loves her, but you've got to give other people opportunities, in my opinion. Anyway, this match, it was weird. They lost the titles again. So Becky Lynch and Lyra lost the titles again to Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel are now your 4-time women's tag team championships. It's insane. I was like, what's the point? Why lose it yesterday to get it back today? Then the heel turn happened. Becky Lynch turned on Lyra Valkyria. She beat her in the ring. She punched her once and then she fell down, and I thought, well, that was a bit weird, a bit weak. But then she went back in and she gave her like 4 manhandle slams. The crowd are asking for another one, so she went back in and she gave her another one. Looks like we're going to see a pretty good feud between the two Irish girls. I really enjoyed it. It was something different. I wasn't enjoying the fact that they were tag team champions, because they are not a tag team. Becky Lynch had just come back. She's a solo star. Lyra's a solo star. She's actually the first ever women's Intercontinental Championship, I believe it is. So she was Lyra 2 belts for a night, and it just didn't make any sense, like, on the program standpoint, you know what I mean? So I'm happy, and thankfully happy, that the heel turn of Becky happened, and we now get to have a feud between the two of these two going forward. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. They are both Irish friends. They have been training together for, I'm guessing, many, many years, so it will be really, really good to watch. And we'll see where it goes with that one. I'm expecting Lyra to win, personally. I think this could be a 3, maybe 4 match run. I think Lyra will win the first one. I don't know where it's going to be. But stay tuned to the channel, because I'm sure once the news is dropped, we will be talking about it and announcing it. So yeah, let's move on to the next segment, shall we? So the next segment that we got, fun fact, WWE put a post out saying that WrestleMania 41 was the most socially viewed WrestleMania of all time, with 1.1 billion social views over the entire weekend. So well done to you guys that were sharing this stuff, that like the videos. There's my plug to ask you guys to hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in wrestling and you want to see more of me and these Raw reviews and SmackDown reviews going forward. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, so the next segment we got was the New Day. The New Day came out because they won the tag team titles on WrestleMania. Off the War Raiders. The New Day, without Big E, they are a heel. It seems like it's the in thing of 2025 to turn heel. That's my honest assessment of what's been going on with the WWE. Very, very strange. So the New Day come out and they're talking about how nobody deserves them. They are the best champions. They are the best tag team ever. And then the Alpha Academy, they interrupt. Very abruptly, they interrupt, and Maxine Dupree comes out and she calls them the 1 Minute Men, which was quite funny. Kofi got very upset and very offended by that comment. I'm not a 1 minute man and all this kind of stuff, but they did get beat in 1 minute by Tozawa and his tag team partner Otis. So good storyline, good angle. But then we got a very strange return. Now, shout out to the Luau over on YouTube. Go check him out. His link will be in the description down below. He joined me along with Poppin and Jeremy for our WrestleMania prediction show. I'll put that little thing up there for you to click it. You can go check out the WrestleMania prediction shows. I actually got quite a lot right. I didn't win. You'll have to go watch to find out who won. But it was a good show. The Luau absolutely loves Miro. The Luau is a big fan of Miro. He thinks that when he went to AEW, and I agree with him, he was very underutilized. They wasted him so much. Well, Miro's now back, okay? And he was given the... What's the word I'm looking for? He was given the disrespect of a new Def Rebel theme tune. I hate it. I was expecting, when I heard that Rusev was coming back, I was like, oh crap, we're going to get a really bad intro theme music, and just keep the one he had, because I like the one he had with the horns, and you knew who it was all instantly. But now it's like, you might as well do a happy dance to Machka, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, anyway, Miro's back. I don't know why he attacked Otis and Tozawa and like the New Day. It didn't make any sense. Like, surely you would want him to go against someone like Gunther maybe, or Bron Breakker. Like, why are you putting him with the tag team guys? It just didn't make any sense to me. WWE, I need you to explain what's going on with Miro / Rusev in next week's Raw, I guess, because I don't know what's going on. Let me know down in the comments down below who you would like to see Rusev go against first in his return to the WWE. I'm super hyped to see him. I think it's going to be great. He's always a great character. Okay, so cut to backstage, and we get a Judgment Day segment. Back in the Judgment Day locker room, Dominic Mysterio, who won the Intercontinental Championship in the Fatal 4-Way on WrestleMania, he won that. He was backstage, smiling, being happy. So he should. He's a champion. Liv Morgan is with her. Raquel's with her. Remember, they've just won their titles back, so it's very interesting that they've got titles. Dom's got titles, and in comes Finn Balor. Finn Balor definitely seems angry, definitely seems disappointed that it wasn't him that won. He has his eyes all over Dominic's title, and Dominic says to him, when we're with Finn, we win, right? It doesn't matter who's got the title, as long as it's part of Judgment Day, then we're all good, right? And he kind of plays off that it's not, but then instantly switches to, yeah, bro, whatever, it's cool, and then he, gives the title a little bit of a side eye. And then I think we might have some dissension in the group even more, because Finn Balor turned around, and as he turned around, Carlito was standing there. I spit in your face, Carlito, the man with the apple. I think that was a nice tease. I think we might see Carlito and Finn Balor come together. But then we go to the next segment in WWE, and out comes our reigning, defending women's world champion, Io Sky. Io Sky comes out. Fantastic entrance, fantastic wrestler. She absolutely blew it out of the park this weekend. I heard a lot of people say online, and the online concourse is that the women's triple threat with Rhea, Bianca and Io was the best match of the weekend. I'm going to disagree, guys. It was okay. It was good. It was a great match. But for me, it was way too choreographed. I'm sorry. It was way too choreographed. There are moments in it when two wrestlers get knocked down, two other girls get knocked down. I think it's Bianca and Rhea, and then they sit up and put their backs to each other in the middle of the ring. They literally sit up and put their backs to each other so that they can be in position for Io to hit the moonsault off the top rope. That's all cool, that's all fine and dandy, but for me it just felt like it was a choreographed match more than it was a wrestling match. It just didn't settle into that this is a natural three-way match. What I did like was the finish. I love that all three of the girls in the main event in the WrestleMania triple threat, how all three of the girls involved were pretty much within touching distance when the pin happened. I love that aspect of a triple threat. It just shows that at any point anything can happen and you've got to be on your game. That was a cool aspect of it, but the whole choreographed feel just didn't feel right to me. That's just my personal opinion. You'll feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. I definitely would love to get into conversations about choreography in the WWE, because obviously it's choreographed. We all know that it's choreographed. They talk about these matches beforehand. Not all the time though. Some wrestlers don't need to go through that. They can just get out there and they can work well together, and the chemistry with each other is brilliant. Apropos AJ Styles and Logan Paul. I'm sure the Logan Paul and AJ Styles was choreographed, but it didn't feel like it was choreographed at any point in the match. I felt like it was a true, genuine fight. So just to weigh that onto there. Anyway, Io Sky comes out. Io Sky is in the ring. She is talking her, forgive me if I get this wrong, Japanese or Chinese, one of the two, I think it's Japanese. She's talking in a Japanese accent and a language, and she's obviously not English first speaking language, so she struggles a little bit, but she does fantastic as she does. A little bit better than Shinsuke, I would say. But yeah, she basically says that she is the champion. For me, I still see little, like, I don't know, I see the little girl in her, the wrestling fan, the lover of wrestling in her when she talks. And you can't take that spark away from somebody. I just think that she's a great wrestler, and the more that she's on the mic, the more better and more confident she's going to feel. But anyway, out comes Stephanie Vaquer from NXT, the current NXT Women's World Champion. She comes out, and I'm like, what's Stephanie doing here? This is the Raw After Mania. This is the place where we get call-ups. This is the place where we get returns. What's Stephanie doing here? She's the current NXT champion. Bit weird, a bit confused by that. Well, they have conversations amongst each other. It was one of the weirdest challenges I've ever seen, because she come out and she was basically, I respect you. I really like you. I want to fight you. And Io's like, I respect you too. I like you. I accept. And then we get Adam Pearce comes out. Adam Pearce comes out and goes, Vegas crowd, what do you guys think? Do you want to see this match? And the whole crowd goes crazy. And we get to see the match right there, right now. And I'm popping my little cotton socks off because I love Stephanie Vaquer. I think she is one of the best wrestlers on the NXT brand. And I can't wait for her to come up to the main roster, honestly. I'm not going to be covering NXT on here for the start of this channel and for the start of these videos. I just want to not put myself in too much of a deeper water. So for the first couple of months at least, we're going to do just Raw and SmackDown, and we might dip our toe into NXT. I'll still be watching the product. I watch every part of wrestling. I watch AEW, I watch WWE, I watch TNA, I watch Ring of Honor, I watch New Japan. There is so much wrestling stuff that I watch. We're just going to talk about, though, Raw and SmackDown on this channel for the foreseeable future. But yeah, great match. Can't wait to see that, and it happens. So they start having a great match in the middle of the ring. Two brilliant wrestlers. I couldn't have called it. I really couldn't have called it. If you'd asked me right now who would have won that match, Ryan, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because unfortunately we did get some distractions and some people running into the ring, which was unfortunate. So we did get Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez attacked. Who did she attack? She attacked Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Obviously tying into tonight's NXT, because I'm recording this on Tuesday. So tonight's NXT has Stephanie Vaquer against Roxanne Perez, so it made sense for her to run in and to attack there. What didn't make sense is then Julia from NXT came out, and then Julia looked like she was going to attack Roxanne, and her and Roxanne seemed to cross paths with each other and then attack their opponents. So it looks like they're working together. So it's very interesting that we've got two girls from the NXT going against Stephanie Vaquer, who's just came up from NXT, and Io Sky. It looks like that might be something that we get in the future. Also with the championship match for Io's title. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, overall, great segment. Io Sky stands tall as always. Oh, and before she did get out of there, as they were getting attacked, they got saved by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's music hit. She come running down to the ring. She definitely had a bruised face and a black eye from all of the commotion over the weekend. And she picks up Io's belt and she hands it to Io. And just before Io goes to take control of it, she holds on it, Rhea, and she says, I'm coming for that. Just you know I'm coming for that. So it looks like Rhea Ripley, Mammy herself, wants her title back. Let me know in the comments down below who you think should have the women's World Heavyweight Championship. In the comments below, let me know who you would like to be. Charles, I know you're already going to comment Mammy. I don't think Mammy needs the title, honestly. I'm going to say that. I don't think Rhea Ripley needs the title on her being to be the character that she is. I think that she's big enough and she's more of a superstar enough to not have that title. And I always like the chase more than the reign itself. So, yeah, let's move on. I'm going to yeet away because the main event World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso is now in your city. It was a good one. I don't know. He's coming through the crowd. I don't know how long this yeet thing is going to last, honestly, guys. I feel like it's going to run its course at some point in 2025. I don't know what he's going to do after that. I can't see. I don't think it's as good as the Yes Movement. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what the Yes Movement is. The Yes Movement was massive. I don't think it's quite on the same par. I could be wrong. Let me know if you disagree or agree with me in the comments down below. As always, with all of my reviews and opinions, they are just solely my reviews and my opinions. They do not reflect any of my friends, any of other channels that come on here. Anything you see on WrestleRealm. From my voice is my views and my views alone. But yeah, Jey Uso comes out. He's got the title. Nice little stuff with the crowd. Everyone's going crazy. And he, excuse me. Yeah, Jey Uso says that he has the title on his shoulder now and it weighs heavy and he's going to defend it every time he can, whenever he can. He's going to be a fighting champion. It's going to be a great one. And then all of a sudden we hear, whoa, 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 let's go. We hear Sami Zayn's music. I just sang his theme song and then lost his name in my head. Sami Zayn came out and Sami Zayn congratulated him and he said, I am so bloody proud of you, my dog. And he gives him a hug and they both celebrate with each other and they go to each corner to yeet with the crowd. And at one point Sami Zayn jumps off the turnbuckle and he's standing behind Jey Uso, and I thought for a second, hang on a minute, this is the Raw after Mania. Is Sami gonna turn heel? I just prayed he didn't. I prayed he didn't. I prayed he didn't, and he didn't, guys. It looked for a second like he was going to, but he just didn't. Next minute, Jimmy Uso's music comes on and Jay's brother Jimmy comes down to the ring. They both celebrate as a three together as brother and brother and with Sami Zayn, and ultimately it was just a celebration of Jay winning the title from Gunther, being the main event that he is, and they both, all three of them, leave the arena together. Come back to see Gunther, the guy that lost his title to previous mentioned Jey Uso at WrestleMania, and he's got his hands on the commentary desk right in front of Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. And he's basically goading Pat McAfee and Michael, and he's saying to Michael, what do you want? What you saying about me? What you saying? Say it to my face, damn it. Say it to my face. Don't say it on commentary. Don't say it like that. Say it to my face. What have you got against me? And Michael Cole says, well, you did tap out, bro. And that was it. Like, he probably shouldn't have said that, but I completely agree with what he said later on, which we'll get to. He provoked Gunther, and Gunther pushed Michael Cole out the way, pushed Pat McAfee literally right across the arena, basically, and knocked him off his ass. And he attacks Michael Cole. He grabs Michael Cole and he starts to move him into a chokehold position. And Pat McAfee jumps back into the scene and he basically punches Gunther straight in the side of the head. And then they separate. Gunther is standing on one point. Pat McAfee is standing on the other, defending his work colleague, Michael Cole. In the next minute, commotion from the back comes down. All the general manager, the security guards, they all come running down. They're getting Gunther's way. Gunther pushes past all of those guys and gets Pat McAfee in a rear naked choke. And he's lying down on the ground and he's got a rear naked choke. I will put some images up here of what we've seen. Obviously, we can't show footage because WWE don't like that kind of stuff, so we're just going to have a still image of Gunther choking out Pat McAfee. And he was there for a while. Now, obviously, we all know that this is a scripted television show, but things still happen, and I still think that Pat McAfee was legit being squeezed. Probably not to the point where he can't breathe, but it was being squeezed, because we then, after all the commotion and the security guards pulled them apart, it gets pretty wild. It does get pretty wild. Pat McAfee is visibly in pain with his throat. He's retching. He's having to go down to his knees. I was waiting for blood to come up, honestly. It would have been a good scene for WWE if they'd have popped a blood capsule into his mouth at one point in the promo, and when he's walking up the ramp, he could have probably spit out some blood. It would have been pretty good. I think it could have been called for in that segment. But it was still a fantastic segment, Gunther attacking Pat McAfee. And then later on in the show, Michael Cole does come back and he says to Adam Pearce, he says, I'm not going to let a big bully like that walk around here and bully me and stop me from doing my job. There are bigger guys that have tried and there are bigger guys that have failed. And he basically gets a massive round of applause from the crowd. The whole crowd are like Michael Cole, when he's singing his song for him. And he walks back to his announce desk and he sits down next to the now Joe Tessitore. He sits down next to Joe Tessitore, who was in some sort of like white suit. Clearly he wasn't in his work attire because he wasn't on commentary that night. It was Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, but Joe Tessitore steps in to fill the spot of Pat McAfee tonight. I've heard people say, thank God that happened. People hate Pat McAfee for the colour commentary. I personally really enjoy Pat McAfee. I love all his quips. I love all his little things that he does and says. I love the Pat Straighter. I love the pencil flip where he catches it. All sorts of funny stuff. So yeah, it was a bit of a rough one to see Pat McAfee getting attacked like that. I don't know if Pat McAfee's going to have a match. I know he kind of had a match against who was it? It was Vince McMahon, wasn't it? Vince McMahon. He basically laid down like a dog for Vince McMahon, and yeah, less said about that, the better. So I'd like to see Pat McAfee have a match, and maybe we'll see that coming up sometime in SummerSlam, or maybe they build it for a WrestleMania event. How cool would it be, though? I'm just going to put this out here. We do have somebody on the current commentary team who is a wrestler. Most of them are wrestlers, as we know. Corey Graves is a wrestler, but he's not coming back, I don't think. But guys, long story short, Wade Barrett, okay? Wade Barrett was the leader of Nexus. He is still a great wrestler, I believe. He's still got it. He commentated his first ever WrestleMania this weekend. This weekend just gone for WrestleMania 41, so congratulations to Wade Barrett for that. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Because I think with the John Cena heel turn, with all this stuff going on, John Cena was very highly connected with the Nexus group, which was the leader of the Nexus group was Wade Barrett. I think we could see Wade Barrett make a return to in-ring wrestling. And how cool would it be for Wade Barrett versus Gunther, where Wade Barrett is fighting for the integrity and honour of the commentary team and the sportscasting. Michael Cole says a very, very good point later on in the night that he shouldn't be put in a position like he was just for giving off commentary. You know, you get the NFL guys that give bad commentary to the big guys that play, and they don't get a beating after it, you know. So why does it have to happen in WWE? We have, you know, over in the UK here, we have soccer, we have football. The commentators don't get beaten up or get physically attacked by the footballers if Mo Salah doesn't score a goal, or if Alexander Arnold is, you know, not scoring or not playing well, stuff like that. They don't get beaten up. So I get it's wrestling, I get it's scripted, but he's got a very good valid point, and I think it makes more sense when WWE are trying to go down a more mainstream of television and trying to be looked at as something that they can be nominated for, whether it be Oscars, Emmys, all that kind of stuff, because I personally believe that they should be. It's entertainment, just like movies and TVs are. I personally feel that people that go to watch movies, and people that are in the movies, they get these Oscars and they get these nominations for being in a movie that might have took them a couple of years to film or a couple of months to film, and then it comes out. But WWE never stops. Like Triple H said in the backstage thing, he had WrestleMania weekend, and then he had literally a 12-hour, I think it was a 12-hour downtime for the season, and then the next after that, someone was giving him papers for Monday Night Raw, and that's the new and we're going again. You know, 3 shows every single week for 52 weeks a year. Never stops. So I personally think that there should be its own award ceremony for the WWEs that is genuinely honoured and respected, and it isn't just like the Slammies. That's why they have the Slammies, because they had to mix their own up. But yeah, I completely went on a massive tangent there. But it's in the same vein as Michael Cole being respected for being a journalist of sport journalism and being a commentator in the game. So yeah, it's just what I think about that one. It's great. Okay, guys, so with about 45 minutes left in the programme of Monday Night Raw after Mania, I thought we were going to be getting into the main event next, but we're not. We still have one more match that we need to talk about. So Dominic Mysterio comes out and he is challenged by Penta. Penta was part of the Fatal 4-Way on the weekend, and he failed to get the title because Dominic did. So yeah, they have a match. They have a title match. I do like the rematch kind of segment that they do after Mania. I think it only belongs on the Raw after Mania. I don't think it belongs on every pay-per-view, every Raw after every pay-per-view. I think it should just stay on the Mania ones. It makes more sense. There's big stakes at risk, and you should be able to get your rematch afterwards. And plus, it helps you tell other stories without having to dig too deep into trying to make new storylines for new characters. But yeah, Dominic Mysterio and Penta, they have pretty much a good fight. It's a good back and forth. I was never expecting Dominic to lose. He just literally won his title, so why would he lose? It's not like it's the same with the Rhea. It's not like it's the same with the Becky Lynch and Lyra scenario. That there was a whole reason for that. She turned heel on her. She is a solo person anyway, and yeah, Dominic Mysterio is part of the Judgment Day. But Dominic Mysterio was 3-0 at WrestleMania when he was part of the Judgment Day, and the one time that he wasn't part of it or was thinking about leaving it, he wins the Intercontinental Championship. So if Dominic's listening, and I hope you are, Dirty Dom, I would like to tell you to leave the Judgment Day and be on your own, because I do personally think that in time you will be the most famous luchador in the world and you will surpass your deadbeat dad. So yeah, Dominic Mysterio wins with the help from a returning JD McDonough. Correct, the Funko Pop guy, you know, the guy with the massive head, which is disproportionate to his body. Yeah, JD McDonough returns. It's good to see him back, because he did take an absolute nasty bump a couple of months ago doing I believe it was a Hurricane Moonsault thing from outside of the ring, inside the ring to the outside of the ring, and he clipped the back of his neck on the now supposedly indestructible commentary desk, and he was out for a long time. He did genuinely get rocked by that move, so it was really good to see him back. And I like him, you know. Anything and everyone from the UK that is in the WWE, I respect them and I love them all, especially the Scottish ones, because that's where I live. But yeah, it was a good match. Dominic Mysterio retained. He basically kept his title. It was very good. We've got, looks like, some sort of ascension going on within the Judgment Day again. I need Judgment Day to be over in the next 6 months. It's been going on for way too long. If you think about all the iterations that's been, it was started with Edge. I believe it was started with Edge, and then they turned on Edge, and then they got other people and they turned on them, and then yeah, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were part of it. They turned on them. It's good, and it looks like now they're going to turn on Finn Balor, or Finn Balor's going to turn on them. So I don't know where it's going with that one. I just would like the Judgment Day to be over and done with, please and thank you. Okay. So with about 15 minutes left of the Raw show itself, the cannons fire. Seth Rollins comes out. We all know Seth Rollins was going to be here tonight. Seth Rollins comes out with Paul Heyman in tow, singing his song, Whoa, Whoa. I can't sing. That's why the professionals do it, and I just record YouTube videos. Yeah, Seth Rollins comes out dressed in white, looked like a Kill Bill kind of yellow. It was a yellow Kill Bill colour on his trousers. Comes out, says, I am a revolutionary. I am, he says his taglines, and just before he says, I am Seth freaking Rollins, CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk is not happy. CM Punk was betrayed by Paul Heyman in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania on night one's main event. He did get low blowed in the handbag. Was not nice. Was not fun to see. Was very hard for CM Punk to take, I'm sure. Anyway, CM Punk doesn't want to talk about it, gets straight into an attack in Seth Rollins. They start fighting. Seth Rollins does get the better of him though, and he does lay him out, unfortunately. Then we have Paul Heyman saying that we have a new undisputed defending number one guy in the company, and his name is Seth freaking Rollins. Well, for one, he doesn't have a title. For two, he isn't defending any title. But I completely... It was a play on all of Paul Heyman's sayings, with what he has with Brock Lesnar and what he had with Roman Reigns. So it was a play on all of those. It was nice. It was well done. I could see where they were going with it. Then all of a sudden, dum dum, dum dum, Roman Reigns music hits. The Tribal Chief is here. The Tribal Chief comes running down. He doesn't actually come running. He comes briskly walking down to the ring. And he's not down for talking either. He is done. He wants to fight. He starts fighting with Seth. He starts to get the better of Seth. And it looks like we're going to see like Roman Reigns standing tall at the end of the night. But no. CM Punk. Roman Reigns is in the ring. Paul Heyman is the only one in there with him. Roman Reigns delivers a Superman punch to Paul Heyman, which I was shocked that Paul Heyman took an actual bump, because he got pushed over last week and that was all that had happened, and I thought, okay, they're protecting this guy. He took a bump this week, guys. He took a Superman punch, fell to the ground. And then Roman Reigns is in the corner and he's getting ready to hit the spear. And I'm thinking, who's he going to hit this on? Who's he going to hit the spear on? And I'm thinking, oh crap, it's Paul Heyman. He's going to hit Paul Heyman with a spear. And I was starting to feel concerned for Paul Heyman at this point, thinking he can't hit him with a spear. He can't. He's going to kill him. He's absolutely going to kill him. And as Roman Reigns runs into it, Roman Reigns gets speared out of nowhere by this hooded person. This hooded person reveals themselves. It's only bloody Bron Breakker. Oh, 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 oh. It's bloody Bron Breakker, guys. So we've got Bron Breakker teaming up with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. What? I didn't have that on my cards on Friday night. I tell you that now. Not once did I think that Bron Breakker was going to become a Paul Heyman guy. It makes complete sense. Absolutely complete sense with the way that the character is and the way that they could go in the future. I just hope that this isn't a flash in the pan. I hope that this isn't another betrayal story that gets back with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. I personally want Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman to be done. I personally want Roman Reigns, CM Punk to go on a feud together, a solo feud together, just those two. They can get into it, how you cost me my tribal chief, you cost me my best friend, you cost me my wise man, all that. I think it's perfect. But then what do we do with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker? I don't know. I'm going to shout that Seth Rollins is the one that takes the title off John Cena. That's what I would like to see. I would like Seth Rollins to be champion again. I think he's one of my favourite wrestlers in WWE. He always has been, no matter what iteration he wears. I think he's eccentric. I think he is a brilliant wrestler. And for me, he was the linchpin of the Shield. I'm not a massive fan of Roman Reigns. Never have been, never probably will be. Yes, I respect the tribal chief. I honour my tribal chief and I acknowledge my tribal chief for the things that he did for this industry, for the 1,000-day reign that he had, 1,000+ day reign. But for me, the most eccentric wrestler is Seth Rollins. And yeah, that's basically how we go off air. All the guys beaten up in the middle of the ring. So you've got Roman Reigns beaten up, laying at the feet of Seth. And you've got CM Punk beaten up, laying at the feet of Bron Breakker. All three of them hold hands. They raise each other's arms up. And that's how we go off air. A absolutely fantastic Raw, I must say. I'm going to give this Raw a 9 out of 10. I don't think I'll ever give a 10 because there's room for improvement. We will see though. Maybe we'll find a 10 on this channel at some point. But guys, that is my Raw After Mania review. I know this one was a little bit longer, just under 40 minutes by the time we get out of here. This should get shorter, guys. Remember, this is my first one on the channel, Wrestle Realm. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, rating, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. My goal is to try and get to 1,000 subs before WrestleMania 42, and I can only get there with your help, so please consider hitting that subscribe button. But yeah, my name's been Ryan, this has been Wrestle Realm, and I will see you on Saturday for my SmackDown review. Bye, guys.